Hi guys, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. I have another gameplay idea for you. So this neighborhood is a early Pleasantview, and it says, as the families finally settle down, the golden years of Pleasantview are only beginning. With peaceful and promising futures, will the townsfolk remain tranquility or burst into chaos? Alright, let's take a look at this. The creator did a really good job in creating this. So, right, the neighborhood story says the same thing basically that we just read, and then it continues. The classical Goths, the founding family of Pleasantview, Mortimer Goth and his family came here right after Gunther and Cornelia settled in. Will the family meet up to their high standard? Because if any of the Goths breaks, anyone in town is ready to replace them. Okay, so we see there a teenage Cassandra, young Mortimer, rather young Bella. So then you have the two older ladies here that says, after the fire of 1984, Cornelia decided to live a more secluded life. After a few years, Agnes came to Pleasantview, moving in with her big sister. Will the mourning sisters learn to find some passion without relying on others? So, yeah, you get to play with them a little bit as well. They have some cats. And then here, Flamenco proudly took Don under his wing after the poor boy's parents died. While Dina and Nina have to realize they're not daddy's girls anymore, will they be able to get along without jealousy and chaos sneaking in? Now, I know in the real Pleasantview, they come to Pleasantview when Bella disappears, but they could be returning from somewhere as well. It's not to say that they were never there. After years of figuring out what that alien technology was, Michael became a prestigious sim in the science world after creating clone technology. But now that his subjects have escaped and are roaming around Pleasantview, can he make amends with the residents after he opened Pandora's box? Yeah, so there's some clones here as well. It's a fun little addition, so you will you will see that in my update where I show you how I've played, what actually happened to the clones. I played with them as well. Mary Sue and Daniel seem to have everything under control. Both seem to have a very bright future, but now that their honeymoon phase of their marriage is over and they have to raise twins, will they thrive or crack under pressure? Yeah, this was a very sad thing to play. It was set up very well at a birthday. And yeah, poor Lilith. I really hated the Pleasants when I had to play that part. The oldies were invited to live with their newlywed daughter. Herb and Carl were excited to have something new in their oldie life, but they'd be able to find time for themselves while taking care of everyone else. Okay, let's just type up. Alright, so you see there Herb working on a car and his wife watering the garden while little Lilith is falling out amongst his working tools and stuff. It's a nice picture, I have to say. Set up very well. A misunderstood artist, a promising politician, and a prodigy child. Will Darren, Darlene, and Dirk be able to prosper without losing themselves in the way? So yeah, you can obviously decide whether you're going to recreate the fire situation or maybe it happens spontaneously. Or will you continue having Darlene thrive with her family? It's kind of a decision you as the player will make. Brandy and Skip struggle to get their lives together. It's not easy not having a steady income, but at the end of the day, they're happy and healthy. At least sometimes Brandy is getting some strange nausea recently. Wonder what that could be. So it's interesting, the pool with Skip in it. At the moment there is a pool ladder currently. And yeah, Dustin is still a child over here, so in this version. So yeah, it also depends on you whether you replay everything. Tiffany, the recent matriarch, wants to move the burbs to the hustle and bustle of the city. But now John and his fiancée Jennifer don't want to cut their roots from peaceful little Pleasantview. Will their ultimate decision bring them together or even more apart? Yeah, this is an interesting bit because Jennifer is already pregnant, even though they're not married. And yeah, you might not have Lucy. I didn't, by the way. So the Langeracks may have left Sunset Valley and all its drama, but they sure brought some scandals with them. Will they teach young Kaylin to make the right decisions in life? Oh my goodness, this is a messy family, by the way. Yeah, listen, I've played with this a bit, and I can tell you I've had lots of fun with it. It depends on you whether you want to let it turn out exactly the same way as Pleasantview is. In the end, it's supposed to be roughly like 10 or 15 years or so before everything plays out. But the map is pretty much the same. You do have here and there's some changes made, like the Pleasants having a little home in their backyard where the oldies live as well. So, okay, let's look at the families individually a little bit. I think their bios are just the same. Here's the Calientes, flamenco with the 3 teens. And there's the Bachelor family, so he's still an adult at the moment. The Brooks. And then the Langerack family, so Kaylin as a teen. And there's the Burbs with their dog that you always hear about. Dreamers. The Pleasant Oldies. And the Goths. Alexander is a baby. So yeah, there's, I mean, it's up to you how you want to play this. The 2 older ladies live here hidden away on the side. The community lots are pretty much the same. Not much has changed there. There they are, the Crumple Bottoms with their cats. Living in the woods. And yeah, that's pretty much the Pleasantview. So I hope that you guys will try this out. This is really fun. I'll put the download link in the description for you guys if you want to try it out. I've played, I would say, maybe 5 years into it. So let's see how it turned out for me. Okay, I'm going to share this with you just to show how it can turn out. Of course, you can play it out exactly the way that Pleasantview ends up being. I didn't want to do that. That's kind of boring, just making a copy. And you probably won't be able to exactly make it the same way because, I mean, baby's born in game and things like that, unless you reload until you get the right gender and the right look and everything. It won't exactly be the same. But this is fun if you're looking for some spice up your gameplay, Pleasantview version. So here we go. The map is the same. I have moved in some of the Sims that come with us, like for instance the Hig family. Some Sims have been added from Sims 1 or remade. And yeah, that was fun having them here as well. So I've built a mansion for Landgrab, Malcolm Landgrab, and I've written Malcolm is expanding his family's business empire to Pleasantview. He also met someone special and can't wait for her to complete her studies so they can finally build a future together. So he's a townie when you start off, and yeah, I decided to move him in and play with him as well. I didn't want to add a Blue Water Village or something to this, so this is Malcolm Land. He's living here now. You'll see Bella is not here, and there's 2 boys, not just 1. So, Mortimer Goth and his family came here right after Gunther. Cornelia settled in. That was the same. Okay. And it basically says, will the family now meet up to their high expectations? But yeah, Bella has done something. So she kind of did it with the help of ACR. So I'll quickly just show you what it says. After Bella's disastrous behavior, anyone in town is ready to replace them if one of the goths break. Yeah, I had to edit it slightly because Bella, I don't know, did something very interesting. We'll get to her. She now lives in an apartment with her son with very red hair. It says Bella had a nightmare that things in Pleasantview had the potential to turn out not in the most pleasant of ways, but in the end everything turned out fine until she acted on her lusty feelings for Daniel Pleasant. Yeah, I didn't see that one coming. So, anyway, she now has little Duncan Pleasant to rest. So, there's something very interesting that happened, and Mortimer has obviously got Alexander, and then he has little bad luck Goth. So that's before Bella went haywire and decided that Daniel seems like a good guy to pursue. So she's been kicked out and she lives in an apartment now. The Pleasant Oldies. So I said Mary Sue and Daniel seem to have everything under control. Both seem to have a very bright future. But now that their honeymoon phase, okay, this is the same. The two kiddos have grown into children now, Lilith and Angela. Coral, when you start off, she's an adult, but she's about to age up. So she's aged into an elder now. Here where it says, will they thrive or crack under pressure, especially if Daniel's secret spills out? I've added that in because, I mean, Bella didn't hide the identity of her son now. His last name is Pleasant. So, yeah, I'm at the point now where the news should kind of spill out. And then, Mary Sue should kick him under his butt. But we'll see. We'll see how I make that play out in the end. The Langeraks, yeah. Kaylin has gone off to college. So, they have a cute little dog that they adopted. And then there's babies over here. Now, one is just Kaylin's mom and dad that had a child. The other baby actually is her dad and her aunt, because the aunt is having an affair with the dad when you start off. So Zeth is Zelda May's child with Dustin. And then little Justin is just Kaylin's younger brother. Her older brother moved out. He's got a home of his own. So, yeah, this is a very messy situation. The mom doesn't know yet. She just thought her sister had some relationship outside and ended up getting pregnant, but she doesn't know it's her own husband. That's the dad. Here's the Burbs. They had a son. Surprise, surprise, there's no Lucy. So I sent Tiffany to downtown. I haven't played with her much over there, but she wanted to go downtown, so I was like, well, she decides to move on her own. I do have to add a downtown, so I just decided to do that. And John married Jennifer, and they had a little boy, and they're just living here together now. But I mean, they can have a Lucy in the future. Hopefully, I won't have like 5 boys and no Lucy yet in the end, but we'll see. So, yeah. I didn't change it much, just that John's mother left, basically. And she's now living in the town. Okay, then the Dreamers expanded quite a bit. She they have another son and a little girl. The youngest kiddo is a girl. So I haven't had any fires. I also don't intend on really letting there be any fires. So we have little Arlo Dreamer and little Orlean Dreamer. I wasn't very original with the names. Anyway, but yeah, they're a happy family currently. And I mean, Cassandra's off at college at the moment. Then the Hicks. Maduri had a dream the other night. She was not married to Alden Hick, and her son was called AJ Loner. Luckily, it was just a dream. Yeah, she ended up marrying Alden Hick, and they have a little boy that I called AJ. Because I mean, she's supposed to have a son called AJ Loner if you fully plowed Strange down and so. But you know, I let her marry Alden Hick because they love each other. The Bachelors. Oh my goodness, yeah. He ended up marrying. Her name escapes me. The daughter of the Altos. And yeah, let me just check quickly what's her name. Holly Alto, which then became Bachelor. They've had a lot of kids. So they had twins and then another set of twins. So yeah, they'll have to move from that house. There's no way they can stay there. But anyway, they're very happy together. So I don't know that I will ever pair him up with Dina when she's done with college. Sandy ended up with Amen Sims. And yeah, it says, is Sandy pulling the wool over Amen's eyes? He met her when she was a single mother, and then they had a daughter of their own. But their youngest little boy looks a lot like Daniel Pleasant. Sandy claims he looks like her side of the family. So yeah, Sandy Britty, you know. She's just everywhere. So yeah. Anyway, I wrote her into the story. I thought that would be interesting. So she starts as kind of like just became an adult when you play her. Oh, yeah. Flamenco proudly took Don under his wing, blah, 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 the whole thing. The kids went off to college. But yeah, there's something new that happened. And what about Flamenco and his new wife's health problems? Yeah. Unfortunately, I have the mod with Elder's cough. Flamenco is quite sick with Elder's cough at the moment. I'm not sure how long he's going to live. Then Cody Keaton ended up marrying Melissa Roomies. They can't wait to get married, or they're not married yet, sorry. Can't wait to get married and spend their lives together. I let them get married. Now this is a clone of Bella and a clone of Skip. So that's now the kind of like the storyline that's going. So I said that Stella and Sean Roth refuse to be clones of Bella Goth and Skip Rowe. They've decided to change their last name and to be the opposite of their namesakes. So they've got married, they had 2 daughters as twins, and then they have little Stanley Roth. I changed, I decided that they are changing their last name to Roth instead of Goth, and they're not using Broke anymore. So yeah. Then the actual Brokes have had a lot of kiddos. So yeah, I didn't change their bio much. But anyway, we'll quickly just look at the detailed kiddos. So it's Brandy and Skip, and then they have Dustin, obviously. Bo, she gave birth to Bo. And then they had another baby, which are called Bronco. So yeah, they have their 3 sons already, and he's alive and well and kicking. So I haven't recreated the pool incident. Then you start off with a newbie, Joe Newbie, living with them, which is Brandy's brother. He married Andrea, you know, like the townie. They're happy, but can they afford a larger home for their growing family so they don't have to stay in a trailer? So they've got 2 kiddos. I called one Bobby, and the other one is Anna. So yeah, that's their kids, and I'm playing with them as well. Langerak. Okay, so this is Parker. Will Parker learn from his parents' rocky marriage, or will he destroy his growing family with his wandering ways? So he married the other roomie's girl. What's her name? Let's see. He's a romance aspiration, so you can imagine how that will end up. Chris roomies. Then they have Christo, Archie, and their dog is called Stinky. So that's just the dog they adopted. So they're living in the other trailer. The crumple bottoms, okay, that should actually kind of be updated. So one of the sisters moved out with Flamenco, and we just have Agnes with the cats left at the moment. She's living alone. And she's got the 2 cats because her sister moved in with Flamenco. Let's go to the college and just show you the teens that's gone to college, because something actually has happened there. I always create people who live in college. I don't take the standard universities. So let's quickly show you where they are. I've also added some townies. Here's my university, by the way, early Pleasantview Uni. Some townies start off as teens instead of adults in this one. They've been aged down. So I've sent them to university as well. So let me show you what I've done. Okay, so I just took a small map for this. You don't need a huge one. It's very on hills, built on hills. Alright, so in this dorm, quite a few students. We have Russ Bear, who, by the way, Cassandra, who now looks a lot like Bella, had a thing with us teens, but you'll see what happened recently. Okay. We have Abjeet Chow and Marissa Bendet. She starts off as a teen. Then you have obviously Cassandra and Joe Carr, who is a couple. Abjeet Debiese and Ivy Kapoor, who's with Russ Bear, by the way, now, and Dina Caliente, who is with Abjeet Chow. So, yeah, they've... sorry, you don't see Cassandra's hair here, but she actually does have hair. It's very high poly, which is why it's not showing. Okay, so, whoops. Here they are. So, Abjeet Chow, however you say it, is a romance, but he is currently dating Dina, so we'll see how that turns out. Okay, he's also got a thing with Melissa Fancy and Jan Tellerman going on. He used to have one with Melanie Wilson. She was a random, she was the cheerleader. So, yeah, he has a couple of relationships, so, of which Dina is just one. Abjeet, who is romancem anyways, when you start off with him. He is also in relationships with a professor. No, Nancy Lum. I think she's another student. Sorry, not a professor. Sandy Bruty. And also Jan Tellerman. So, yeah. He is also making his way through the campus. And his enemies. I think he used to have a thing with that cheerleader and she caught him with someone, so they're enemies now. Here's, look at Cassandra. She's taken the Bella persona to heart, and she's engaged to none other than Joe Carr. They really hit it off. And, yeah, she has absolutely no chemistry with Don Lothario. She's not interested in him at all. So they're friends, but I really tried. They're not interested in each other. So I'm not sure that they will ever end up together. We'll see. But she's really, really happy with Joe Carr. So, yeah. That's pretty much Cassandra. And yeah, she's friends with Darren, but yeah, obviously nothing's going on there. So Dina doesn't have any chemistry with Dawn. There's Nina. She doesn't have much of a relationship with her sister to begin with. I should maybe work on that. But yeah, her story is just that, I think she's gonna have her heart broken. She's not into Dawn at all. And this Abjit Chow was her only prospect. And he is, a flirt. Russ Bear has maximum chemistry with Ivy Cooper. So the two of them are engaged and very happy together. He was Cassandra's first kiss and everything. I think she was rebelling a bit because her mother acted out and her dad threw out her mother, and So, yeah, she was rebelling a bit. She's kind of settling down a bit more now that she has Joe. But yeah, she's really embraced kind of looking more like Bella than Bella does. So, there we go. Okay, Marissa Bendett is engaged to Malcolm Landgrab. So when she's done studying, they will get married. That's kind of the story. So yeah, interesting, happy. Then the dorm next to them, we have Melissa Fancy, we have Goopy Gills Carbo, Marlena Hamilton, Remington Harris, Melanie Wilson, who's randomly generated cheerleader, Nina Caliente, Don Lothario, and I created Bruce Rauscher, because he is also someone that is usually in the game. Okay, this was moved in. She's a randomly generated. I think she was a cheerleader as well. I'm not sure, to be honest. Anyway, but I decided to move her in. Alright, so here we are, this dormitory, and we'll quickly just take a look from the outside. It's the regular one that you get with the game that I used. And the Sims that live here is Bruce Rauscher, who I remade myself. I decided to add in some townies in their younger years. He's with Melanie Wilson, who's a randomly generated cheerleader. Marlena Hamilton, he has quite a bit of chemistry with, but she's with someone else, who she's very happy with. So, Don Lothario and Nina are inseparable. They also have like massive chemistry. So there's just really, he's not interested in anyone else at the moment. He has like one bolt with Bella Golf, but there's really no one else he's interested in. So yeah, the story won't completely turn out the way it has in Pleasantview if I, unless I pair him up with people he's not interested in. Then Goopy is with Jan Tellerman. He's a romance, so he wants to flirt with Sandy, and he does have a child already with Jan. They just got pregnant at university, so yeah, we'll see how this turns out. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen there. And then Marlena Hamilton. She is engaged to Remington Harris. They're very happy together. They only have 2 sparks, but yeah, they kind of chose each other, so I decided that that's fine. Melanie Wilson. Yeah, she really doesn't get along with this some. Anyhow, and then Melissa Fancy. She is, we know she's a romance sim. She's with Abjit Chow. And, she has some sparks with some other sims, but yeah, at the moment she's just with him. These 2 sims really don't get along. Anyway, this girl is with Abjit DPS. She was also randomly generated, but they had quite good chemistry, so She's staying here. And then Don Lothario, Nina, we know. Nina has some sparks with other Sims, but nothing compares to her and Don's relationship. She wants to woohoo with more Sims. I'm not quite sure how this will turn out. We'll have to wait and see. And then, obviously, you know that Remington is with Marlena. He has more sparks with some of the other Sims, like Brandy Laterna, but, you know, they make a lovely couple. And he wants to reach his golden anniversaries. I just don't foresee him becoming a maid with qualifications that he's going to attain now. Yeah, so anyhow, we'll see what happens. It's not necessarily that it has to play out like it did in the regular Pleasantview. We can change it. Okay, this is also just one of the dormitories that come with the game that I used. So, anxious subject is actually a clone of nervous subject. The person liked Strange Town that created this lovely earlier Pleasantview. And yeah, he ended up with my Brandy Laterno. And I decided they made a nice couple. He starts with a mohawk, but I decided he wanted to change a bit for Brandy's sake and be a bit normal. Then Benjamin Long ended up with Christy Stratton. Brandy Laterno has some more sparks with Troy Go that I created, and also with Remington Harris. But yeah, her and Anxious Subject chose each other, and I decided, you know, why not roll with it? So they're a couple. Christy Stratton. She could have actually kind of ended up with anyone, but Benjamin Long and her really hit it off. I've recreated Kaylin Spitzer. It's funny. She likes Mitchell Batchelor, which is a clone of Michael Batchelor. He made a clone of himself. But yeah, and Troy Go and her can't stand each other even though they have such chemistry. And then Kaylin Langerak really doesn't feel anything for Dawn, but her and Troy Go really hit it off. My Troy Go that I created. And yeah, I mean, he has max chemistry with lots of other people, but again, him and Kaylin they just clicked immediately. There they are kissing outside the photo booth as well, so yeah, that's pretty much how my university Sims have ended up together. And yeah, I look forward to see, you know, if they end up getting engaged and married and things like that once they're done with uni. So that's them. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. This is another nice gameplay idea if you guys are ever interested in playing Pleasantview but with a twist. You don't want to just do the regular version, then I recommend this one. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and yeah, it's just something that I play off camera, and maybe we'll share periodically over here how things have changed. So, but that's something that you can look into if you're interested. So, as always, be blessed and happy simming. Goodbye.